Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Now, many congratulations to Bernie Taupin. If you missed the news, he's been honoured by the British nation with what's called a CBE. This is part of the New Year's honours given by Queen Elizabeth to people she thinks are worthy of honour, have really achieved something in their lives, really made a difference to the nation. So it's a great delight for Bernie to receive this. Of course, Elton is already a knight, Sir Elton John. So it's long overdue recognition for Bernie. So to mark this occasion, I thought I would choose my top 10 Bernie Taupin lyrics. So what I've tried to do in this selection is maybe just to go a little bit offbeat from some of the more well-known ones, and to pick sort of a variety that show the different styles and different strengths to his lyric writing. So at number 10 is This Train Don't Stop There Anymore from the Songs from the West Coast album. Now, one thing Bernie's very good at is the idea of the extended metaphor. So he's comparing, in this case, a relationship to a train. And he does this in lots of his songs. He picks something and sort of works with that and carries on the metaphor throughout the song. Now, one thing I enjoy in Bernie's lyrics is the conversational tone he strikes. Now, I haven't picked your song in my top 10 because it's so brilliant. Nobody really needs their attention drawing to it. But that was an early indication of a conversational lyric, like two people having a conversation. And it works so well because I think we can drop ourselves into that conversation. I think it's influenced artists like Ed Sheeran, for instance, who in some of his songs, he does that as well. You know, it's like somebody talking to you, and it's really effective and it draws you into the song. Anyway, this one starts, "You may not believe it, but I don't believe in miracles anymore." So he's kind of establishing this idea that maybe things don't always work out as you'd hope to. And when I think about it, I don't believe I ever did for sure. Again, it's like somebody just chatting to you. All the things I've said in songs, all the purple prose you bought from me. So is this the songwriter, the lyricist talking to somebody else? Reality's just black and white. Actually, it's not fantasy, is it? The sentimental things I'd write never meant that much to me. Well, I think they probably did, Bernie, in a way, but this is an interesting way of putting it over. Maybe he's reflecting here that things don't quite always work out as you hope they would. And then he goes into his metaphor of the train. I used to be the main express or steam and whistles heading west, and we know how the rest of that song goes. And Elton actually does a really good treatment of this song, doesn't it? So that's my number 10. Number 9, we're going to the Sleeping with the Past album, and we're going to the wonderful song Club at the End of the Street. Another really good thing Bernie does is establishes atmosphere. Now let's see what the setting is for this song. When the shades are drawn and the light of the moon is banned, and the stars up above walk the heavens hand in hand. What a delightful image that is. Now he recreates this special place where people can go to. There's a shady place at the end of the working day where young lovers go and this hot little trio plays. There's lovely rhythm to that writing. This would work as a poem, wouldn't it? And then he goes on, that's where we meet, that's where we meet. Me and you rendezvous in the club at the end of the street. And then that's repeated in the refrain. So lots of little details here, little details that are excellent for Elton to set to music and that create a kind of sound picture for us, a picture of that place. Second verse, from the alleyways where the catwalks gently sway, you hear the sound of Otis, that's Otis Redding presumably, and the voice of Marvin Gaye. In this smoky room, there's a jukebox plays all night, and we can dance real close beneath the pulse of a neon light. Now imagine that lyric landing on your desk, as Elton must have, and he looks at it and thinks, well, I can't wait to set that to music because it just flows so well, doesn't it? So another delightful song, and Elton gave it a really good setting as well. Okay, number 8 in my top 10, we're going to the Honky Chateau album for Mona Lisas and Mad Hatters. Now, it took me quite a long time to work out what this was all about, but this is about living in New York, and that maybe it's not quite all it is thought to be. There are some dangerous things going on. Apparently, Bernie or Elton heard a shot ring out late one night or something near the hotel. They were thinking, well, this place isn't quite the Shangri-La that it's supposed to be. Now, Mona Lisa's Mad Hatters. Mad Hatters are sort of the people who are partying all night. Mona Lisa's maybe the sort of people who don't really recognise, don't really realise what's actually going on. And there's references in this to Spanish Harlem, that well-known soul song, Aretha Franklin as well. And he starts, and now I know Spanish Harlem are not just pretty words to say. I thought I knew, but now I know that rose trees never grow in New York City. It's not quite what we were expecting until you've seen this trash can dream come true. Well, lovely words there, trash can dream. It's delightful to say even, but again, it's one of those really quirky images that Bernie comes up with. You stand at the edge while people run you through, and I thank the Lord there's people out there like you. I thank the Lord there's people out there like you. So in amongst all this madness, he's found somebody of value. So again, it's a great lyric, that one, and most people seem to regard this as a pretty classy song. Okay, number 7, we're going to the Made in England album for the song Blessed. This is another beautiful one. It's addressed to a child who hasn't yet been born. What a lovely idea this is. Hey you're a child in my head. You haven't walked yet. Your first words have yet to be said, but I swear you'll be blessed. So this is somebody, perhaps an expectant mother or father, thinking about this child who hasn't been born and how they're already loving them. I know you're still just a dream. Your eyes might be green, or the bluest that I've ever seen. Little echo there of your song, isn't it? Anyway, you'll be blessed. I'll pick a star from the sky, pull your name from a hat. I promise you that you'll be blessed. Simple idea, but it works really effectively, doesn't it? Okay, number 6, and we're going to the one here for the last song. This, as we know, is a story about somebody who is suffering from AIDS and maybe near to the end of their life. They've fallen out with their father, or maybe their father's fallen out with them, but there's a reconciliation near the end of their life. And it starts like yesterday. It starts like the song, the Paul McCartney song yesterday, doesn't it? And actually, the notes also mirror that, but then it goes in a totally different direction. Yesterday you came to lift me up, as light as straw and brittle as a bird. Today I weigh less than a shadow on the wall. Just one more whisper of a voice unheard. Again, it's beautiful setting of the scene. It's tender. Tomorrow leave the windows open. As fear grows, please hold me in your arms. Won't you help me if you can to shake this anger? I need your gentle hands to keep me calm. It's a beautiful chorus as well. I never thought I'd lose. I only thought I'd win. I never dreamed I'd feel this fire beneath my skin. I can't believe you love me. I never thought you'd come. I guess I misjudged love between a father and his son. And if you happen to be a parent out there, I'm sure you can relate to that feeling. And even if you're not a parent, you can probably imagine what these people are going through. So very tender. So it shows the skills of Bernie, that he can address these tender moments and also come up with these great rock songs as well, like I'm Still Standing. There's such a great breadth there in his skills. So my number 5 is my favourite Elton and Bernie rock song, I think, The Bitch Is Back. It's just great, isn't it? I'm never sure really what that first line means. I was justified when I was 5. I'm not sure. Raising Cain, obviously this is a troublemaker, somebody who doesn't care much, going to do what they want. I spit in your eye. Times are changing now, the poor get fat, but the fever's going to catch you when the bitch gets back. And of course, the joke with this was that Elton was the target of this kind of tongue-in-cheek, that he was behaving a little bit above his station, perhaps, a bit of a prima donna possibly at the time, and the kind of Bernie's giving a little bit of a stab in the ribs here, a little bit of a poking fun at him through this song. But I think he saw the funny side of it. Anyway, it's just glorious, isn't it? I'm a bitch, the bitch is back, stone cold sober, as a matter of fact. I can bitch, because I'm better than you. It's the way that I move, the things that I do. We don't have to analyse this too much, except it's a really aggressive lyric, isn't it? And Elton has great fun with it in setting it to music. So, a great upbeat rocker there. Number 4, I know it's really well known, and I'm trying to pick less well known ones, but I had to include Goodbye Yellow Brick Road because it's one of those songs, and Bernie's did quite a few of these, where they don't necessarily allow themselves to be explained word for word. And he said some of these, that sometimes he writes a lyric, he puts in various sort of interesting images, some really offbeat words, and they don't necessarily have to have a specific meaning. I think with Goodbye to Brick Road that there is a story on there, that it is about somebody coming in America, perhaps from the rural areas into the city. When they get there, they're kind of taken advantage of, they're possibly abused in some way. So I suppose a little bit of an echo of Mona Lisa's there, and I've got this idea of disenchantment with city life. But there's enough interesting images in there, and this is from Goodbye to Brick Road, isn't it, of course, and I've kept this out here because it's got a good picture of Bernie there. What's he saying here? When are you going to come down? When are you going to land? I should have stayed on the farm, should have stayed back in the country. I should have listened to my old man. You can't hold me forever. Well, are they being held against their will in the city? I didn't sign up with you. I'm not a present for your friends to open, so you can't exploit me. This boy's too young to be singing the blues. And then picking up on the Yellow Brick Road there from The Wizard of Oz, this idea that, that there is an enchanted land out there, but maybe it's not as enchanted as you thought it was going to be. So he wants to go back to my plough, back to the howling old owl in the woods. What a great line. That would stand up as poetry on its own. Look at all those owl sounds going through that. Hunting the horny back toad. I finally decided my future lies beyond the Yellow Brick Road. Well, that song passes into history, doesn't it? It's just brilliant. And as you know, that's one of my all-time favourite Elton John songs because of the brilliant lyric and the brilliant melody that goes with it. Right, my number 3, another extraordinary lyric, is Madman Across the Water, the title track. Now, is this about somebody who is locked up in an asylum? Is it about people who go to kind of gloat or to visit this person who is across the water, and they go every week, and there's something sort of rather strange about their visits, but they're kind of fascinated by this person in the asylum. This is full of some really juicy, fruity images in here and some great lines. It starts with the idea of there's a boat on the reef with a broken back. I can see it very well. I'm not sure what that signifies. Maybe we've got some ideas on that. But this is the madman talking so far. We call it the madman. There's a joke, and I know it very well. It's one of those I told you long ago. Take my word, I'm a madman, don't you know? Then we get kind of the other view of him. Get a load of him, he's so insane. You'd better get your coat, dear, it looks like rain. So they're going to see this madman across the water. Who is that madman? Is it an oblique reference to a politician or a world leader? We'll come again next Thursday afternoon. The in-laws hope they'll see you very soon. So there's some relationship going on there. But is it in your conscience that you're after? Another glimpse of the madman across the water. So is this visit actually taking place, or is it all in the head? Is there some sort of fascination with this strangeness? Now, there's a fantastic line. One of my favourite Elton John, Bernie Taupin lines ever is in the bridge. Is the nightmare black, or are the windows painted? That's just brilliant, isn't it? Will they come again next week? Can my mind really take it? So in the end, it's the madman or the person in the asylum who's being upset by the visits. And who is the real madman here? Is it the person in the asylum, or is it the people, the strange people who want to visit? So again, Bernie's posing all these sort of questions. They don't necessarily have answers, and we don't need the song to answer them all for us. It's just enough to have the question. We can again though go to our discussion forums, whatever, talk about it online. What does this song mean? What does it make us think? We might have 100 different answers, but there's still plenty of interest in the song. Now, for my number 2, I wanted to go to something pretty recent from Elton. So I've gone to the Captain and the Kid album and a song called Old 67. I really like this song. Now, what happened here? is that Bernie and Elton got together when they were writing this album. They just sat down and they just talked about old times. And maybe they hadn't had much of a chance to do this because they live in different parts of the world. Maybe they're communicating by email or fax or whatever. So actually getting together as friends, long-term friends, and looking back, this was a special moment for them. And again, it's got this chatty feel to it. Listen how it starts. Hey, how about this? A little conversation tonight, thinking aloud how we struggled to find our place in the dizzy heights. Don't often do this. We never really get the chance. Nearly froze to death on Oxford Street. Now we're sitting in the south of France. And a little bridge piece. Talking through the evening, it's good to shoot the breeze. Just you and me on the balcony and chichardas singing in the trees. And then the refrain is about that 1967, nearly 50 years before. Old 67, what a time it was. What a time of innocence. What a time we've lost. Raise a glass and have a laugh. Have a laugh or two. Here's to old 67 and an older me and you. Now, it may not be the greatest one that he's written, but I really like it. I like the setting that Elton's given for this. And there's a real touch of nostalgia in there, a touch of sort of looking back on those early glory days. And it's a tribute to the friendship, I think, of Elton and Bernie as well. So it's a lovely lyric, that. And I would definitely draw your attention. Have a listen to that one and see what you think. Now, what's my number one, my favourite Bernie Taupin lyric? Well, I've been playing my way through this book, Little Black Songbook of Elton's, which I will review separately when I sit over at the piano. But one of the songs that I was looking at here, I'd never really appreciated quite as much before, and I think it's absolutely beautiful. It did feature in the Rocket Man film, and it's a song from Tumbleweed Connection called Amarina. Now, this has got it all in this. It's a beautiful lyric, quite sensual in places, and it's about somebody being sort of fascinated, perhaps being parted from their loved one, but thinking about those wonderful times with them. I suppose Pinky as well from Caribou would be a similar sort of lyric to this one. You know, it starts, lately I've been thinking how much I miss my lady. Amarina's in a cornfield, brightening the daybreak, living like a lusty flower, running through the grass for hours, rolling through the hay, woe like a puppy child. Some great images in that. And listen to this fantastic chorus as well. And when it rains, the rain falls down. I love the repetition of rain there. Washing out the cattle town. And she's far away somewhere in her eider down. Again, another beautiful image there. And she dreams of crystal streams, of days gone by when we would lean, laughing fit to burst upon each other. Yeah, it's a lovely poem. It creates these lovely images in your head, and it's just superbly done. The second verse, I can see you sitting eating apples in the evening, the fruit juice flowing slowly, slowly, slowly down the bronze of your body. So again, quite a sensual verse, that one. And then the third verse, oh, if only I could nestle in the cradle of your cabin, my arms around your shoulder, the windows wide and open, while the swallow and the sycamore are playing in the valley. Oh, I miss you, Amarina, like a king bee misses honey. Not sure about that last one there, but you know, this is just a luscious atmosphere he's created, hasn't he? And Elton gave us a really good setting as well. So it's a beautiful song, that. And sometimes you don't really appreciate these lyrics until you've actually sat down and tried to sing some of these songs. And again, you know, for Elton to have that lyric in front of him, he must have thought, wow, you know, that's a beautiful lyric. Let's hope I can do it justice with my song. And of course he did, because it's a great song on a great album. Anyway, those are just my top 10. I could have picked, you know, at least another 100 of favourite lyrics from Bernie. I love his storytelling that he does throughout Elton's career. Obviously, some of them are just more straightforward, like I'm Still Standing or something like that. But I do enjoy the ones when there's a bit more below the surface. Anyway, those are mine. What are your favourite Elton John, Bernie Taupin lyrics? So either just tell me a few of the songs you enjoy, or just pick out a phrase or a line, something that's stuck with you over the years, something you can't get out of your head, or something you think, well, that's really clever, or what does that mean? So jot any down below if you'd like to. And many congratulations to Bernie for his long overdue award. Don't forget, see you next time, and we're still standing.